Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see how to use external service in Salesforce Flow. Using Flow, we can use external service and make a call out. This avoids writing complex code in Apex. If we write the same call out using Apex, then we have to parse the response what we get, and then we have to store it in different variables, and then we have to either store it in a custom object or a standard object, or we have to do our business process as per the response what we are getting it from the call out. But with the external service and Salesforce Flow, this is simplified. With no knowledge of coding, people can make use of external service in Salesforce Flow, and with just drag and drop and configuration, we can achieve callouts to external endpoint URL. For this demo, what I have done is I'm using Swagger Hub. I'm using the free trial. It is going to expire in 13 days. So sign up for Swagger Hub, and then in Swagger Hub, click create new API, and here you can select the template as none, or you can use any existing template and make the visibility public so that external application can view the data. So in my case, I'm going to call it from the flow and then click save. Once you create the API, since I selected a blank API, this particular specification will be blank for me. So I created an API specification. Version is 1, title is blank, description is employee search API, and for the path I'm using employee, and then tags is employee API, summary is API to search employees, operation ID is nothing but search employee. So this is my HTTP get method, because I'm using get here, and in the parameters I'm using a query. The parameter name is employee number. The description of this query parameter is employee number to search in the system. Required is true. Schema, in the schema the type is string. Here my employee number is string. What happens if it is a match? It will send type array, or you can also use object for items, because sometimes if the same employee number can be used for multiple employees, one is active, one is inactive, like that. So that's the reason I'm setting it to array. For your case, if it is going to be unique, don't use array type. So for items I'm using employee schema. So this is the schema for employee. Type is object, and I have employee number, employee name, employee age, and the employee joining date. For employee number, I'm using it as string, and that is going to be my UUID. Example is EMP-1. Employee name, string, example is test name. Employee age, it is going to be a number, example is 19. Employee joining date, it is string, and the format is date, example is this format. And since I'm using a mocking plugin from Swagger, it added that description URL. So once this is set up, you have to go to this version, and then you have to click this to publish the API. For this code, please check the video description. I have shared my blog post. From the blog post, you should be able to get this sample code, and then you can tweak it as per your business requirement. So now since this is done, my API is ready. I can definitely run it and see. So here if I go to get, let's click try it out. If I select one, so this is what my result will be. Now go to export download API and select JSON result. Once you select it, it will give you a JSON file. Open that JSON file and copy the content. In Salesforce, first go to external credential under named credentials in setup, and then click new, and then create a external credential. Next, go to the same named credential, and under named credential create a new named credential using the external credential used here, and this is going to be my URL because this is the URL I'm going to call my API. Okay, so now both of them are done. Now go and create a permission set. My permission set is name is employee API. In the employee API, give read access to this object called user external credential. This is very important. Please give this access, else the user whoever is trying to use this external service will get error. And then make sure you click manage assignment and then you assign the users to it. You have to assign the permission set to the users who will be using the external services. So my permission set is ready, and then I have also given access to user external credential. So this particular access is mandatory, so make sure you are doing it. Now in the external credential, if you go to the external credential under permission set mappings, click new, select the permission set. I am not going to use any kind of authentication here, so the authentication parameter can be 0. So now this particular employee API external credential is available only to the users who have access to this permission set. As part of this permission set, we have also given read access to user external credential. Now named external credential is done, named credential is done. Now we have to create a new external service. Click new external service, and when you create a new external service, important thing is you have to copy and paste the JSON export which you got it from here. So when you create an external service, it will show you the operation ID, search employee, and then you can click next, and then you can click done. In order to test it, we are going to use Salesforce flow. So in Salesforce flow, when you select action, you should be able to search that. Search employee is the action from external service. So using that, I created it, and employee number, I'm going to pass it as stremp number. This stremp number is nothing but an input variable. Let's run it. I'm going to pass 1. It returned the value from my external service. So without any coding, we can easily do callouts using Salesforce flow and external service. So sign up Swagger Hub, create a trial account, create a new blank project. For this code, please check the video description and get my blog post. From the blog post, you can get this code. Once this is done, publish your API and download the JSON result. Create external credential in Salesforce first. Next, name the credential with the Swagger Hub URL. Create a permission set. Make sure user credential object is given access, and in the external credential, make sure the permission set is assigned, and also in the permission set, make sure the users are assigned to this permission set. Next, create a new external service. When you create a new external service, you have to paste the JSON which you got it from the Swagger, and then you can create a flow. In the flow, you can use the action, and then you can search for the operation ID, and then you should be able to test it. And then from flow, you should be able to make a call to the external service and retrieve the data. Please check the video description. I have shared my blog post. From a blog post, you can get all the screenshots and the code whatever was referenced here, with all the detailed steps. I have put some screenshot and the sample code. Please make use of that as a reference, and you should be able to build on top of it. I hope it was helpful. Thank you for watching.